know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast, brought to you by NBA 2K23. The weekend is almost here. My plan for the weekend and your plan for the weekend, if you're listening to this, is to play NBA 2K23. So hit the link in our bio right now in the description of this podcast to get your copy, get involved, get online. My player, my team, my NBA, all the different game modes are there for you, WNBA, everything's there for you. Get it cracking. Now, as much as I love being on the court, as much as I love being on the 2K blacktop, BJ, we've seen an amazing week of basketball. There's been some crazy fixtures. The Warriors lost to the Magic in a thrilling game last night. The Lakers magically picked up another win with Matt Ryan hitting a buzzer beater to send the game to overtime just a couple nights ago against the Pelicans. But unfortunately, all this great basketball is being overshadowed by just craziness happening off the court. Now, there's a lot we could talk about. There's a lot that we need to talk about.
I'm calling this episode right now Trick or Treats, because this right now, this doesn't seem right. But go ahead, Mo. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. There's 4 issues that need discussing, but I'm going to start with the one that's closest to the court first. And that's James Harden being out for a month with his injury. I need a quick reaction on how you think that is going to impact the 76ers. Embiid's not looking healthy, but he's been carrying the load. He's going to be asked to carry the load a lot more now. And then Tyrese Maxey obviously doing what he does.
Well, in order to answer that question, I have to get more clarity on really what's going on with Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
And he's missing games, but does it state why is he missing? I don't know what's going on there. As far as James Harden, I think this team will be able to move forward without James Harden. And here's why. I got 2 words for that. Tyrese Maxey. You've heard me say it. I'm going to say this. Tyrese Maxey right now has to be the most dominant player on this team by imposing his will on the style of play. He has to be the one that's going to dictate the pace of the game. He's going to have to be the one that's going to have to lead this team, and he's going to have to grow up really fast. Now, Joel Embiid is the best player on the team, but Tyrese Maxey is going to have to impose his will because they're going to need him and his leadership and at the pace he plays if they're going to have a successful season. And that for them is winning a championship. And this has got to happen very quickly. Now, with James Harden being out for an extended amount of time, and that's very unfortunate. We don't like to see any players get hurt here. This will give Tyrese Maxey time now to really take that step. There won't be a second now. There won't be any fighting over the basketball. There won't be, who's the lead guard. It's Tyrese Maxey now. And now I think with him and Joel, talking about Tyrese Maxey and Joel, now things will happen naturally. I think PJ Tucker will figure out his role. I think Tobias Harris will figure out his role. And I would love for them to get, what's the center's name that they
Montrezl
Harrell. I think Montrezl now can figure out his role. So I think now there's an opportunity for them to develop some type of chemistry by subtraction. And then now when James comes back, it'll be James' job to figure out how to infuse his talent back into the framework of the team. So we'll see how this plays out. But I still like them. And I still think that if they're going to, get to the conference finals and the NBA finals, they're going to need a huge contribution from Mr. Maxey. I think really he's the one that I'm looking that could shoulder the load and play this style and this brand of basketball that you're going to have to play in today's game.
And Maxey has been playing great so far this season. He's had some huge numbers, especially in games where Embiid has been out. But, all these role players figuring out their role. I want to figure out how I can play the role of Tobias Harris. $30 million a year and take absolutely no criticism when things go wrong. That's the role that I'm trying to figure out how I can get myself into. But anyway, we're going to keep it moving. We have more serious matters to discuss. Now, I don't even know where to begin with any of these because I like to talk about just basketball. So let's start here. Kyrie Irving.
Let's keep the jokes rolling. If we keep the jokes rolling,
we got to be serious for a sec. We got to be serious for a second. Okay.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving suspended 5 games and fined by the Brooklyn Nets for his refusal to apologize to the Jewish community after he posted a video online. Now, I've not seen the video. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have any intention to watch the video, but I've heard that it said some not good stuff in the video. Now, over here, we don't condone any hate speech, any discrimination, or any of those things at all. So let's just say that. I'm not going to watch the video he posted. I got no reason to. Brooklyn donated money alongside him to the Anti-Defamatory Association, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know the exact name, but to a charity. And the charity turned around yesterday and said, we can't accept this money from Kyrie Irving, who's refused to actually come out here and apologize despite having multiple chances. Now, Kyrie since has gone onto his Instagram and posted a message saying that he is deeply sorry. And to all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected by his post, he's deeply sorry to have caused them pain and he apologizes. But now he's out for 5 games. BJ, do you have a reaction to this?
No, I don't.
I mean, I don't get involved in that side of stuff. But what I do want to say about all of this is that that's been dealt with. I'm sure the NBA's had conversations with him. I'm sure the Brooklyn Nets have had conversations with him. And I'm sure he realizes what he did. But moving forwards from here, how long is it until Kevin Durant demands another trade?
Well, now that we're back on the court, these situations, and I'm looking at it as a parent, from a parent's perspective. We get here and we have fun. Well, you and I have fun.
Yeah, we like to.
Every time you say it at the start of the show, the vibes, and always remind me of, the positive things, because, as a player, as a former player, there was a safe space that I cherished. And every time I got on the court, for that length of time, whether it was in practice, pickup game, an actual game, it was always the feeling of competition, being with my guys and playing. And
yeah, I don't think even you have to make it pro. I think at any level, the basketball court is a sanctuary for a lot of people at any level of basketball.
Yes. And here at this, on our show, for our 30 minutes, I know, every time I come, I go, okay, what's Mo going to do? He's going to say something. He's going to throw some, he's got to throw some jabs, he's got to do some things. And we're going to have fun. But, because we share this love for the game and we share the love of promoting the game to others and really sending out this energy where, people have a place to, share a few laughs. I love it when they give me, questions and give us questions, and you and I will go back and debate back and forth. But it's all under this roof of like you and I having this understanding. It's all love. It's like we're doing things, and and the audience is just beautiful because they get a chance to watch. They come in, they comment, and it's like this beautiful dance. And then something like this comes in, and I'm like, okay, how did we get here? Like, how did we get here? Like, how did we get here? And so I'm just, I'm just going to say this to our audience. The vibes when we come here. Know who we about. You know what we about. And when we see things like this, we just gonna politely go around it and move on. We saw it, but
we have to acknowledge it. You know, we can't act like these things aren't happening.
Yeah, we can't. But we also, because I have so much respect for our audience, they know the vibes here. They know what we about here. And if it's not about love, if it's not, hey, everybody has their whatever, but it's about love here. So I just hope that all the parties involved in that situation will figure that out, because, you and I, we got a job to do.
That's facts, man. Listen,
we got a job to do. And that's to promote positivity, inspiring people, the next generation. But more importantly, we want to respect the people that understand that, in this real world that we live in this world, or whatever, however you want to term it, whatever it is, that this is a safe space for all here. Here.
Facts. Like, here's the thing. Over here, you can be Christian, you could be Muslim, you could be Jewish, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, atheist, Taoist, whatever your beliefs are. We only care about one thing, and that's getting buckets.
Yeah, that's
all it is. That's all. It's all love to everyone. It's all love to everyone. Just bring your game. That's all we care for. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, a couple other things that we have to acknowledge as well that are also very saddening. Josh Primo of the San Antonio Spurs is now in a court battle with the team psychologist, if I'm not mistaken, who has made some claims about him, and they're going back and forth. You guys can read about that online. If the allegations against him are true, that is very disturbing and saddening. If the allegations are not true, then that's also crazy for it to happen. But I don't know I don't know the facts. I don't know anything about the situation. I've not read up on it properly because, as we say, we're just all about the buckets. And I've just been watching the games. I've been watching this kid, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, putting up crazy performances for another week. So BJ, it's been a bit of a mishmash for a week, but which teams or which players have really stood out to you and impressed you? I feel like we should start. Who's your player of the week? It's a Friday. Who is your player of the week?
Well, I don't know if I have a player of the week, but I'm going to tell you.
Or a team or a coach or someone.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Who gets the
going
BJ
out,
Armstrong Award of this week?
Okay, I'm going out to the state of Utah.
Oh, Laurie Bird.
Okay, I'm going out to the state of Utah, and I'm going out in particular to Laurie Marketing. Now, is this live, as the commercial said, or is it Memorex? Is this real? Okay. Laurie Marketing right now is a problem. He's caught my attention. Okay, 1 game, 2 games. Now he's kind of consistently every game affecting the game, and he's affecting the bottom line of the game.
Bruh, okay, I looked at the Western Conference standings today, and I thought, listen, I don't know what kind of simulation we're in, because I don't think the world has been real for the past 3 years. But right now, when you're looking at Utah sitting at 6-3 in 3rd place, and the Warriors sitting at 3-6 in 12th, I don't know what world we're living in right now.
Well, I want to say this. Right now, we're living in Laurie's world, because right now, this young man has really caught my attention, right? And he's caught my attention before my standard, which is 25 games. Now, he's done this in about 9 to 10 games. I'm saying, I got to watch him now. They are playing excellent basketball.
A month ago, I'm pretty sure nobody had any intention to watch the Utah Jazz ever.
And now, the Utah Jazz are in the Armstrong house. I mean, this guy's dunking. I mean, he had a dunk that one night where it was like a reverse dunker or something. I was like, I didn't even know he could do it. Yeah, it was like his jumper is working. He's driving to the basket. He's blocking shots. I mean, this guy looks like an all-star right now. He's playing at a very, very elite level. Now, give them credit, their style. It works. Jordan Clarkson, Kelly Olynyk is playing well. What's
Jordan Clarkson.
Sexton. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Clarkson, Sexton, they got everything going right now. So Lauri Markkanen right now is my player that I'm watching. He has been the player of the month of October.
Okay.
And I'm going to watch them to see if they continue this for the month of November.
They will get traded.
I don't know what to say.
BJ,
I don't think you could trade Lauri Markkanen.
Is there a possibility? Like when the Celtics went into their rebuild after trading away KG and Paul Pierce, they were kind of bad for one season, but then they bounced right back because they found these players like the Isaiah Thomas trade, for example, who really overperformed. Jay Crowder and guys like that came in and really made them compete. And that's the same energy I'm seeing from this Utah team. Is it possible that they just decide not to truly bottom out like we all predicted in the offseason? And they actually try and get people in using all those draft picks?
I'm going to say this.
Is there a world where they trade all their draft picks for Kevin Durant?
All-Star weekend this year is going to be in
Utah. We got to pull up.
I'm waiting at the proper time to call Danny. And I'm going to wait to call Danny Ainge because I have to know the following. Danny Ainge has gotten you can say what you want to about Danny and his style and putting together teams and you can say whatever. But this is the thing I want to acknowledge about Danny Ainge. These coaching choices that he's made, he's gotten that right. And he must know something about these coaches, right?
Will Hardy, Brad Stevens, even bringing in Doc Rivers when he was with
Doc
the Celtics.
Rivers. He's got Doc Rivers, Brad Stevens, now this kid, Will Hardy.
And I know the Celtics regret letting Danny take him if they had known about the Ime Udoka situation. Have we even talked about that on this show? That's a whole nother story.
You know me. I don't like to be off the court, but I just want to say this. I'm giving Danny Ainge credit for this. You give him credit for a lot of things. He's been an executive for a long time and he's done a terrific job over the years. And he's a true professional, and the way he handled this should be, if you want to know how to handle a situation, just watch how he handled this situation over the summer. He patiently waited for what he wanted to do, But the one thing he did to me that was terrific was his patience in hiring the coach, because he gets that right.
Every time.
He gets that right. And then once he gets that right, I remember Isaiah Thomas, who I had seen play for years here prior to him getting to be the Celtics. I just didn't know he was going to be that version.
Nobody did. Let's be honest. Yeah. Nobody did.
Lauri Markkanen.
And nobody knew Lauri Markkanen. Anyone who says they did is lying. Let's be honest. No one expected an all-star season from Lauri Markkanen.
Well, I mean, I didn't know he was capable at this level of playing like this. Now, I had an advantage over most because I saw him play collegiately, right? I saw him play.
Yeah, we were talking about this on the show the other day, yeah.
For 1 year. And you saw him do some nice things. So don't get me wrong. There was a reason he was drafted in the lottery by the Chicago Bulls. However, this version that I'm seeing, I was like, wow. I was like, this guy's pretty good. Mm-hmm. This guy is really good. And I want to just give Danny his credit. Danny Ainge knows coaches. And I should be contacting Danny Ainge to ask him, what is it that he sees? Because he gets it right. And then his players respond. And then suddenly, now you could see the personality of his coach, of his staff, and what he plays. And Danny's a grinder by nature, okay? And I played against Danny for many years as a player. And I will say this, all of his teams reflect his personality.
We got to get him on the show. We've got to get him on the show.
Oh, we got to.
We almost at 200 episodes. We're going to have to make it a special edition for number 200, BJ. We're coming up quick on 200 episodes. That's crazy, by the way.
I should
200.
reach out. Yeah.
No one's putting in the work like this. I just got to get that off my chest. We started this properly in January. We're almost on 200 already.
I want to say this here. We're getting into shows, but right now, I got to give the Jazz credit. I'm giving the Jazz credit here. I'm giving them credit.
Facts. Absolute facts. I think for me, so far this season, the standout is obviously Grant Williams. No, always Giannis, undefeated, Milwaukee Bucks, 7-0 so far.
Oh man, yeah. And I don't want to fall in the category of taking him for granted. I don't want to.
That's why I have to shout him out. But also,
yes, please.
Donovan Mitchell has looked like, and I say this with a heavy heart because he destroyed my Celtics twice in the past week. But Donovan Mitchell is looking like a superstar. You know, when he was in Utah, it's like, okay, well, he just always has the ball and he doesn't play defense. So, of course, he's getting his numbers. Now in Cleveland, he's playing defense and getting numbers on the offensive side and winning games. They're 6-1. I got to give some credit to Donovan Mitchell and the front office of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the coaching staff, JB Bigstaff and those guys for bringing that all together. The Phoenix Suns have bounced back really nice. They're 6-1. You know, right. I thought that they would crumble this season. Interesting one last night. Someone tweeted out a stat about Cam Johnson scoring 7 threes, the most by someone on the Suns. Jay Crowder tweeted, well, actually, I hit 8 threes back in 2021, and then deleted it very quickly. So I don't know what's going to go on in that situation, but they're still winning games even without Jay Crowder. So when they do trade him, they're just going to be adding another piece to the puzzle. Do I believe in them in the postseason? Who knows? We're going to have to wait to see. But we got to talk about these Warriors, BJ, because I watched this game last night. Because, okay, the Lakers are bad, expected. The Nets are bad, like, come on. Nobody thought that the Warriors would be 3-6 to start the year. What's going on in Golden State?
What's going on? Okay.
Because the starting unit's amazing. The starting unit, statistically, is the best team in all of basketball. But as soon as the bench players come in, it crumbles like you wouldn't believe.
Okay. Excellent question. Let's stop here at the world champs. Okay, first, this team is not going to crumble. Warriors Nation, you are in good hands. Steph Curry, okay, even in defeat, the guy is, he's pretty good last night. What do you have, 38, 39 points or something last night? In
a loss to the Orlando Magic, who reside at the bottom of the East.
He's
great game from Jalen Suggs and Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, by the way. Fantastic.
So Steph Curry is fine. Now, why do I say he's fine? Is because when you're giving these types of efforts early in the season for a veteran, okay, I get it. He's fine. What I don't like is he's scoring way too many points this early in the season. It's way too soon for him to be scoring 38, 39 points, which means right now they don't have the proper balance on their team. Okay, they're trying to win these games early, by the way, guys. Second, Klay Thompson clearly is not he's in shape, but he's not in the game shape that he needs to be in this early in the season. That's just, and why? Because he didn't play any of the preseason. What do you have? One preseason game or something? I don't even play one. I can't remember. But he didn't play in the preseason. Okay, so he's gonna need some time.
I didn't think that regardless of his shape, Klay Thompson shooting 33% from behind the arc. His previous career low was 39%. He's shooting 33%. I don't think anyone anticipated that.
Well, we have to anticipate it. Why? Because of the injuries that he has sustained, and he's not getting the reps.
He was putting up 19 a game in the NBA Finals.
Okay, but he's not getting the reps. You got to get the reps. It's all about reps. It's all about the reps. Okay. He's not getting the reps that's necessary to shoot. Now, every shooter is going to go through what I always called it a period of adjustment. When you can shoot, you're going to shoot your way in it and you're going to shoot your way out. So in the end, Klay Thompson will shoot somewhere north of 40%. Why? Because he's that good of a shooter. As he gets in better shape, his legs get stronger. He gets his legs up under him. So I'm not worried about that. So check for Warrior Nation. He will be better. Steph Curry is going to have to figure out how to get out of the 30s into the high 20s so that they can get their bench and other people involved in the game. The third thing that has affected this team was the off-court or on-court situation that happened
on the training court.
on the practice facility that, we don't have to revisit again, but, with Jordan Poole and Draymond Green, that affected them. Okay. Fourth, now we have these young players, in particular Poole, separately, and Wiggins. Now these guys have been paid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they have a lot of things going on. And then if you want, you have to, and anyone who's won a championship, okay, and Steve Kerr knows this. All those players who have won multiple championships there know this, and anyone who around this league know this. It is very hard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's very hard to repeat in this league back to back. That's very, very difficult.
And this is coming from a man who went back to back to back.
Okay. You really want to know all those things I just named. That's what's just going on before they get to the court. And then add on, come root for your home team and boo the defending world champions. And you're going to get efforts like Suggs. You're going to get efforts in the other teams.
You got target where they're as well, being the reigning champs.
You're getting the best television. They got the best television schedule. Every game is packed, and everyone wants to see you, especially the visiting team. They got to see you. They want to see you lose. Let's just call it what it is. Great job by the Orlando Magic last night.
Mm-hmm.
The Orlando Magic are starting to compete. And what I love about young teams is when you start to see them win at home. That's the first sign that maybe you got something. You may not always win on the road with the young team, but when you see your team being competitive at home, you go, now we just got to get to the experience. So great job by them. I think the Warriors will be fine. However, the one thing that I know Coach Kerr and staff have to figure out is this. We can't keep talking about Wiseman, Moody, Poole, and these guys, Wiggins, and these guys as young players on the team who are going to be. Now, either they're going to be or
Wiggins is 27. Let's take him out of the category of young players.
Well, I'm leaving him in it because Wiggins never played with the expectations of where he's at now. He may be 27 years, but as far as basketball, he's really reinvented himself. And he's still learning. At 27, he is not yet ready to carry the mantle and responsibility yet. And he's still learning. What I loved about him last year, I thought he really slipped into a reliable player on both ends of the court last year.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. Now, is he ready to do that full time? Let's say minus Clay or minus Draymond or minus Steph Curry. Is he ready to do that? You know what? But right now, in his current role, wow. Because you know what? If he's the fourth best player on the team, he's the fourth best player in the entire league. Okay.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
Right now, if he's your fourth best player, your
best player is Steph.
You have Draymond there, and you have Klay Thompson there.
You don't think Poole is better than Klay and Draymond?
Well, I don't think the team I think Klay is still in their big three.
Okay.
Klay will finish the game. This year, Wiggins, or last year, I should say, I thought Wiggins really became a very reliable player where the coaching staff started to depend on him.
On both ends.
On both ends, in the absence of Klay Thompson, because that was Klay Thompson for many years. Mm-hmm. That was Klay Thompson job from it. Klay Thompson always guarded the other team's point guard. Klay Thompson always guarded the other team's best perimeter offensive player. I thought last year Wiggins stepped into that beautifully. And that's why people were like, oh, wow. And he was doing that consistently. He guarded John Morant. He guarded Luka Doncic. He guarded Jason Tatum. And he was consistent. Okay, when I see consistency from a young player, and that's eye-opening for me. So I think now, is he ready to do that and stand alone and be thrust into that position, saying this is who he is? I don't think Klay has relinquished that. And if you look at their team, they're still built around their big three.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. You follow me. You follow what I'm saying?
I'm hearing you.
Now, I don't know if there's another guy that's better than him if you're saying he's the fourth best player on the team. I don't know. There it is. I mean, he's been terrific. That's what makes this team so interesting, because you have
also out of every team's fourth best player, he's the best. Out of every team's
yes.
The way you phrased it at the start, you said he's the fourth best player in the league. I was like, BJ's going crazy.
He out of all the starters,
I had to hear the explanation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, clear. If you have every team has 5 starters. If he is the fourth starter, he's not in the big three, right? I don't think anyone's considering him. I think he is maybe the best. I don't know if there's a better fourth starter.
Until the Celtics get healthy, but yeah.
Until the Celtics.
I mean,
so in saying that, they got to figure this out. And I think Steve Kerr has to figure out the following. The only way that those young guys are going to get better is they have to play.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm seeing
Wiseman
a lot of people
playing 9 minutes.
A lot of people getting on to Wiseman for his play. The kid barely played in high school, barely played in college, barely played in his career so far. What are you expecting? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what we're expecting. Winning is what we're expecting. And let me say something about young players and young people. James Wiseman is a starter athlete. James Wiseman is 2010 waiting to happen every single night. Okay.
When he figures it out.
Well, he's got it figured out. Okay. Now, he just can't there's not enough minutes for him right now in the Warriors. And let me say this. I'm going to say this because Mo, I really get, as you get older, you're not there yet. You start getting annoyed.
Oh, I'm there.
Really?
Oh, I'm there.
And here's what annoys me about bigs. Okay. And I say we, us little guys, us people who, are caretakers of the game, coaches, executives. Okay. We play a style and a pace right now where we literally excluded bigs.
Mm-hmm.
Mo, okay.
I remember in 2010, the NBA removed centers from the voting ballot for All-Star games and just made
literally we excluded them from the game.
Centers.
Okay, we've excluded them from the game. I want to say this. I'm not defending James Wiseman, but I want to make sure that we understand what's going on out here. We in the NBA excluded bigs, so much so now that most of them are just outside shooting threes.
They're just tall shooting guards.
Okay. Now, seriously, they're just shooting threes. We don't teach post defense anymore. We don't go inside and play through the bigs. We don't do any of those things. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you would think that when you have these big 7-footers or 6'11" guys, that there would be some type of opportunity for them to, at the very least, catch the ball on the post a couple times, operate. It's not like people are double teaming down there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that there would be a player, because if Shaq was in today's game,
40 a night.
He was getting 35 or 40 in the playoffs when the game was way more physical.
I think I can summarize it in Shaq's words. Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert.
And here's what I want to say to all bigs, including James Wiseman. Keep your confidence, because at some point this game is going to come back to that box. It's going to come back to that box. I guarantee it. Why? There's no other place to go. Steph Curry and Damian Lillard and all these guys, they can't shoot past half court, and they are literally at half court right now. And no one says that's a bad shot anymore. These guys are literally shooting from half court. There's only one other space that's open on the floor right now. That's in the post. And I want to say this to James Wiseman and all bigs. Be big. Because I'm tired of watching 7-footers shoot step back threes. I'm tired now of all these guys shooting these threes.
Until it's Wemby.
No, the thing that impressed me about Wemby, and I don't want to get distracted because I want to make my point here. Wemby is big and he plays big. That's what I love about him. Okay. And here's what I want to say about this kid, Wiseman. The most difficult thing for a true big, is to play a style that's not really enhances what you do. Like, this young man is a big who should be on the box. Now he's playing because he has the athletic ability to screen and roll. He has the ability to screen and pop. Bigs play better versus bigs. That's a fact. I don't care who you are. Why? Because it's us little guys, and then there's a true big. He's a true big. And if he's going to be the player that we think he is, there's a reason he was drafted number 2. We got to play through him on the box, and he's got to learn how to play and just play through it. He's got to play through his mistakes. That's just what it is. If I'm going to put him out there 8-9 minutes versus small players, because now everyone plays small, right? I was watching the Warriors, I don't think it was last night, but the night before or whatever game. They had Klay Thompson at the 4, Draymond at the 5. They went really, really small.
Yep.
Okay. So I just want to say that to the bigs. At some point, the coaching staff is going to have to make a choice. Are we going to allow this young player, which on their timeline is to win a championship now? That's the thing that surprised me last year about the Warriors. I didn't think they were going to win it, not because I didn't think they'd have the talent. It was because how are you going to develop and win a championship at the same time? That's where they're at. If Poole and these guys have gotten paid now. Now you got to play them. Jordan Poole has to play now. Wiggins has to play now. Wiseman, he has to play now. Okay? Why do I say this? Look at Lauri Markkanen right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This will come full circle.
And trust me on this one. Trust me on this one. This kid, James Wiseman, is a talent. He may not be ready to play at a championship level just yet, but he could very well be an all-star and he's a top 10 talent for sure. And my understanding, he is a great kid, a worker.
Yeah.
But you got to find the style that fits you. He's a true big. He's not some stretch big.
He just needs to play big. And speaking of being big, we want to be the biggest podcast in the world. So make sure you subscribe to the show right now. We're going to be back very soon, the Hoop Genius podcast.
Is that it?
That's it. That's what we got time for today.
Okay.
We'll be back. Don't worry, we ain't going anywhere. We'll see you guys on Monday, nice and early. We're going to have to wrap it up right here. But in the meantime, you guys know the vibes. Make sure you leave a review, leave a rating. Let us know your opinions. If you want to get involved in the conversation, join the Discord server that's linked in the description of this podcast. Get involved over there. And most importantly, until next time, get buckets.